Soul Garden.
Hello Pisces, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. My name is Christopher Witecki. Thanks for logging in. Well, Happy New Year. We've been off the air for a couple of weeks. I haven't been able to say that in person. Happy 2012. I really think this is going to be a groovy year, especially for the Pisces. We'll talk a lot about that here in the future. Pardon my dust. I've been off for the last couple of weeks developing the Guardian Agency. We have brought it up to the final level. We're out of beta. So if you haven't tried this out, give it a try. You can go to gatext.me, gatext.me, take you right there. It's 99 cents for the first week, but what I've done, finally, it's got it all together, is we take your date of birth, we actually analyze some of your chart in the system, and what we do is basically become your personal astrologer for the year. Not only just for the year, but in the moment, each day. So part of it is for all Pisces, part of it's for just you. That service, personal with texting, is on, and we also have this really other cool feature where I can actually call you. We're going to do that when days get really bad. So give it a try. Give it a try. It does support Soul Garden. I do appreciate you giving it a try. gatext.me. So Pisces, when I last left the Magicians, you were working on your place in society. What is your context consciousness? That's what it was about as far as your place in the world. Where do you belong in the world? And how do you fit in the world? And that's a heavy topic. We had Pluto really killing off old schools, old worlds, that sort of thing. As we move on now to this week, the Sun is in Aquarius. Let's take a look at the planets. On Monday, the Sun is now in Aquarius, shifting focus to your own personal relationship to God. That's right. Aquarius is the energy that you use in order to plug into your higher self. This is your annual weeding transit that happens every year before your birthday. This is where you have to face your boogeyman, face your fears, face your self-doubts. These are usually patterns that go all the way to childhood. Everyone has them, and everyone has to clear them through. It comes down to just facing what your issues are. But it's a big deal because this 12th state of awareness, is your state of awareness. Pisces are masters at the 12th state. The 12th state is the I sense consciousness. That's our psychic ability. That is our subconscious here on Earth. It's where we store a lot of our dream energy. It's where we store a lot of our memories from our past. But also it is the bridge to the other side, which is what you are. You are God's service providers. You bridge Earth to the higher heavens. So your own conduit, your own antenna is what we're talking about here this month. Clearing out your own antenna, getting a stronger signal, and you have to remove any kind of doubt or self-suspicion. So on Monday, it's Lightcast Day, right off the bat. Whew, came back just in time. That's when the Sun and the Moon line up for the new moon. As you can see, it's pulling on the Earth here in one direction, where towards the Aquarius constellation. That is a spiritual day for you. You're probably going to be pretty cloudy on Monday, very much introverted. Really, you want to pray. I mean, if to put it simply, Monday is a prayer day for you. What do you want to get rid of? What fears do you want to end? What do you want to face? And what do you want to open up to in the higher heavens? You know, as you open up, you can find out a lot more information. Very good in your daily service. So Monday is Lightcast Day, and it is a day for you figuring out what's wrong. Then we move on to Tuesday, and we get started right away. Tuesday might be a hard day, a tumultuous day. Chance of storms. Why? Uranus is ruling the day. That means breakdown. And unfortunately, because you're dealing with your own boogeyman, because you are dealing with your own connection to higher self, could be a real breakdown. If you've been putting things off or not paying attention to what has really been affecting you on a subconscious level, could also be some really wicked dreams. Definitely pay attention to your dreams for this entire month, because I'm sure they're full of a lot of symbolism for what you're dealing with. If you have a hard time bringing it out in the surface in your waking hours, sometimes a dream journal, really good for this. The other thing that adds to Tuesday that's not so much fun is that Mars goes retrograde. Now Mars, you can see on the other side of Earth, is now going to go retrograde, head south again. What that means is we're going to all kind of feel deflated. We're going to lose our masculine testosterone energy. It's also in Virgo, so there's full of a lot of doubt. Where it hits for you, of course, would be relationship advancement. So you've been pushing for a new relations policy to yourself, with others, with long-term relationships, with partnerships. That all comes to a halt. All right, and you'll be retrograding now for the next, well, I'll give you the cue. You'll be retrograding, unfortunately, and moving back from what you've learned. So if you're hoping to get to the girl, you're going to have to wait. I'll cue you when. If you haven't got it so far, you're going to think about that with the retrograde. Then on Wednesday, thank goddess, we do get our breakthrough. Mercury rules the day on Wednesday, so if you didn't figure out what it was all about on Tuesday, you should on Wednesday. Also at the same time, we have Jupiter really moving hard. That's what I want to talk about. The moon will move into your sign during the course of the day on Wednesday, so no matter what, you're going to feel stronger, all right, even if you don't figure out your breakthrough with Mercury. Also, as the day progresses and the moon moves down into your ego consciousness, you're going to feel a lot more centered, and if you didn't have your breakthrough, just maybe meditation will bring you breakthrough. The other thing I want to point out is Jupiter, now direct and 1 degree, it's pushing, it's going to move around the clock here, pushing through your intellectual state of awareness in a big way. What does that mean? It's time to open your mind, Pisces. It's time to open your mind. A lot of the issues with Pisces is a closed mind. Now this is something I go over in big detail in the Act 1 videos. I know they're out being sold while I was offline, but you might want to check it out. It's a video that's going to get deep on January, February, March. I talk a lot about Jupiter. Those are available at soulmart.me, and you might want to get into that because it's time to move forward. That means opening your mind. It's too much to go into in the weekly horoscope. Then on Thursday, it's Lovefest Day. It's the best day to tell everyone you love that you love them, and our Soul Garden crew is amping up. We haven't been doing any Lovefest rah-rah in a while, so everyone's super excited, and of course Valentine's Day is around the corner. But what it comes down to is a very powerful spiritual day for you, I think. The moon will cross over Venus. That's why we call it Lovefest Day. Venus is the I give, I receive energy, where we breathe with the universe, where we breathe with our fellow brothers and sisters, and what's fair and what's not fair. It's from the breathing. So we're emotionally breathing. It's in Pisces, and the planet is kind of restoring its spirituality. So I think the whole planet will kind of feel a little bit like Easter. It's kind of an Easter feeling. That's a good way to put it when the moon crosses this in your own sign. The other thing about Lovefest Day is you want to focus on where you are open to giving and receiving and being compassionate to yourself. Remember, your whole transit deals with weeds and your faith in yourself, and you have to have policies on Earth where you are compassionate with yourself and you give and receive in Earth in order to have that faith in the background. So we'll talk more about that another time. Then on Friday, things kind of shift. The moon will now move into Aries and cross Uranus. Now what that means is emotional breakdown. You know, there's going to be some sort of emotional slipping on the banana peel. For the Pisces, this will be with self-esteem. So you might have a leap of, suddenly you're afraid you can't pay for it, or could be a bill issue, could be a money issue, could be a have to speak up in class issue, but there will be a bit of an emotional breakdown on Friday, and you're losing the energy of the moon out of your sign. So that never feels good anyways, because the moon keeps us really balanced and the moon is in our sign. The other thing I want to point out going on is up here with Mercury. Mercury finally wrapping up the 29th degree of Capricorn. So your whole friendship, context, consciousness, whew, Capricorn was so heavy. So that's finally over. Mercury will whip out of that over the weekend. Let's actually take a look at the weekend. The weekend is a very simple wrap-up. Now, all this week, you've been introduced to your demons. You've been introduced to your weeds. Hopefully, you've been introduced to things that are in the way of you having faith in yourself. By Saturday, you're going to want to decide what you want to get rid of. I want to face this fear. I want to face this issue. I actually want to try yoga. But you want to come to some decisions of what's not working when it comes to your own relationship to God conscious, your own relationship to your higher self. That's on Saturday. On Sunday, you want to take some action with that. So go to church, put your thoughts into action, move forward. The moon is still in Aries at this time, but it's crossed over Uranus, so you'll be feeling strong and self-confident if you weren't on Friday. By Saturday and Sunday, you should be feeling pretty good with that self-esteem with the moon in Aries. It's a strong moon, and it's a good time to make decisions about what you're going to face and what you're going to get rid of. Now, there's a very powerful birthday period coming around the corner for you, and you have Neptune moving into your sign. So the universe is on your side. Let me tell you, Pisces, this is definitely the time. Mark my words, in this year of 2012, take this time before your birthday and face some of this stuff. Get it off your consciousness, because there's nothing but bright ahead. You don't want to have any heavy baggage. All right, Pisces, that's all I have to introduce 2012. Thank you so much for logging in and seeing me again. I can't wait to see you again. Be sure to come on down to the mothership at soulgarden.me. We got all kinds of cool writers. We got lots of cool people that are there that all think and breathe like us. So if you ever want some company, come on down. Don't forget soulmart.me if you want to pick up some things. And I will see you in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.